Trying to split. Lead pass, Ramsey. Windmill throwdown.
Another game of injury-riddled basketball for your Toronto Raptors, this time against the Detroit Pistons. And while Emmanuel quickly came back into the lineup, the Raptors were too thin in the front court and were dominated on the inside. Jalen Duren put up 24 points and 23 rebounds as the Raptors were out-rebounded by 13 points on the night, losing to the Pistons.
Pretty much whole game we were not able really to control the glass. We ended up being down 21 in rebounding. We created 32 assists, but we just did not have enough on the glass and allowed them second chance points. That was biggest difference. The difference was the free throw line as well. So we had to do better job in the second half. First half they had only 4 free throws, and they ended up game with 31 free throws. So second half, our aggressiveness was there, but we just committed way too many fouls.
It wasn't all bad for the Raptors in this one. They did fight throughout the game and even led for parts of it. Quickly poured in 25 points and looked aggressive as a scorer. Kelly Olynyk poured in 19, and Grady Dick even had some moments. And we got this wild dunk from Jahmi'us Ramsey. But the man of the match for Toronto tonight was Jontay Porter, who was the only Raptor who won their minutes tonight. Porter stuffed the stat sheet with 10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, and 4 blocks in a game that felt like he was doing everything for the Raptors.
I was really happy to see blocks for sure, but also he was so active and aggressive in coverages. He was getting deflections. He was really active there. He got a couple of steals as well, and that was really what gave me confidence to keep him on the floor, even to finish the game with him. He does really good job with that, and he continues to surprise me with his athletic ability.
You tell him to kind of look at a Kelly, let's say, you don't need to necessarily be a point guard to play make, but the way that Kelly's able to facilitate and have that size is also quite great for this group as well.
No doubt, Kelly is somebody that our whole team is gonna look at because of his level of unselfishness and the way he connects with the teammates, and definitely that's a good comparison for Jontay to mold his game.
Ultimately, Duren and 5 other Pistons scored in double figures, and it was enough to put away a brutally injured Raptors team. But folks, the name of the game at this point in the season is development and opportunity, especially for the Raptors. And Jontay has fully embraced that through the past 2 games. So what I want to do for the film room tonight is dissecting Jontay's game from tonight. Jontay fits the Raptors system like a glove. His ability to move in space, to be fluid as a big man is really important, but it's also this shot making ability, stretching the floor, which makes him so intriguing as a 5-out offense option. And it really matches well with the playmaking chops that he has as well, because some of these high post actions, which the Raptors love to run with Jakob Poeltl and Kelly Olynyk, can also be relayed by Jontay. So nice little cut here by Bruce Brown, and Jontay finds him. This time, pick and roll, a little high post pick and roll between McDaniels and Porter, and he is able to dart that pass over for the alley-oop. Same idea here. He finds the cutting Nwora for the lay-in, and ultimately, I think that's what makes him so intriguing offensively for this team. The ability to stretch the floor, the ability to make shots, sort of makes him a Kelly Olynyk light in certain aspects, and that's what makes him so intriguing on the offensive end for the Raptors, why he seems like he could be a long-term fit for this team, even if there might not be minutes every single night for him. And defensively, he's shown some interesting things as well. Tonight, he had 4 blocks and 1 steal. This steal right here is from, showing high on the pick and roll and having active hands. This time, recognizing the Quentin Grimes drive and blocking that shot and recovering the rebound. I think his defensive awareness at the back line is super important too. So here he is kind of containing Jaden Ivey and then getting the block. That is typical blueprint type drop defense from Jontay Porter. Same thing here, showing his ability as a drop big and gets this block on Marcus Sasser. And then this time, again, his ability to split the difference in the pick and roll, recovers out to James Wiseman for the block. I thought defensively his activity was incredible, and I actually think his defensive ability goes sort of underrated because of the fact that he's such a great playmaker and he can stretch the floor, and like that pops out to fans more often. But I think the defensive side of the ball, he brings a uniqueness, a versatility. He's quick-footed a little bit, so he can step out and contain some guards, but putting him in a drop is where he's most comfortable, and I actually think he did a really, really great job tonight. I want him to explore that more often as this season kind of winds down. Jontay is a guy who the Raptors need to re-sign this summer. So yes, they can re-sign him. They can convert him to a standardized contract right now, but I was talking to my guy, Blake Murphy, someone you guys know very, very well, just to kind of get clarification about the contract situation. Essentially, the Raptors can offer him more years in the summer. They can offer him like a 4-year contract in the summer, whereas this, if they were to sign him now, it would just be a 2-year deal. So I think that is what the Raptors are angling towards. And Jontay, in my opinion, through the stretch that he had in January when Jakob Poeltl was injured, he had that game against Sacramento. He had a couple of other games in that West Coast road trip. To the stretch that he's having now with the team decimated through injuries, I thought he has earned himself a contract in the NBA. Yes, he's a two-way player right now, but I do think the Raptors could use a guy who can sort of replicate some of the things they asked for from their big man. So you think of Jakob Poeltl, high post initiator. Essentially, the way the Raptors want to play offensively is through these high post hubs, right? Jakob finding cutters, finding RJ, finding quickly, working dribble handoffs, etc., pick and roll situations. Guys who are big men who are able to make plays. And Jakob Poeltl fits that description. Kelly Olynyk fits that description, and in my opinion, Jontay Porter also fits that description. If the Raptors are leaning into this style that Darko Rajakovic plays, Jontay is pretty much a prototypical type of big man to play that style, and so I think that they should absolutely convert his contract this summer. Kind of see what's possible out there. They've obviously already done that with Javon Freeman Liberty. Maybe they decide to do that with Jontay Porter as well. Look. There's no question that tonight was a night that was probably a little bit lottery odds fueled in terms of the guys missing out and whatnot and players not playing, and even some of the minutes being given to McDaniels and Jahmi'us Ramsey over even a Javon Freeman Liberty. It was probably a little bit of, hey, we're not necessarily going to be mad if we win this game, but it would be in the best interest of the Raptors to not win this game, and they didn't. Now, for what it's worth, the Grizzlies also lost, so they didn't lap them in the tanking standings, if you will, but they will certainly have their opportunities here. Memphis plays, I believe, Washington next, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, they play OKC. What am I saying? I swear I saw that they played Washington. Hold on. They already played Washington. That's what it was. And so Memphis is in a position where I'm not sure where a win comes from next, but now the Raptors are also, I think, moving towards angling for a pick. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're going to see where the cards, kind of stack, and we'll see what happens. Maybe they bring back RJ Barrett. Scotty Barnes just had a press conference, in practice mentioning that he's hoping to get back as soon as possible. They haven't necessarily ruled out him for the rest of the season. While that is probably still likely given his hand and how that hand looks, who knows? Who really knows what the Raptors' intentions are with that pick? Ultimately, the difference between 7 and 6 isn't that crazy. I know you get a better chance of retaining your pick with the 6th lottery odds versus the 7th. That being said, the new flattened lottery odds make it so that it's just you're kind of leaving it up to fate regardless, and the Raptors, they have no reason to not leave it up to fate at that point. Folks, that's pretty much it for this game. It wasn't that crazy of a game. The Raptors fought hard. There were certain moments where Jontay shined, where Grady Dick shined, where Emmanuel quickly did his thing, and Kelly Olynyk even had some good moments there. But for the most part, I think the only thing people will probably remember from this game is Jahmi'us Ramsey's random windmill dunk out of nowhere. I saw that. I'm like, what the hell? He was 0 for 6 before that, and he pulled out a windmill in transition. Incredible. That's the confidence I hope I can have in my own life. Yeah, that's it. That seems like a recap to me. I'm going to be at the game in Orlando, not traveling to Orlando, never been to Orlando, but versus Orlando on Friday. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Excited to watch Grady Dick in action. Thank you very much for tapping in. Subscribe to the Raptors Republic YouTube channel if you guys don't already. And yeah, go check out Raptors Republic content. It's pretty dope, if I say so myself. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.